On December 24, 1971, LANSA Flight 508 was flying from Lima, Peru when it encountered a storm and was struck by lightning. The plane broke up and crashed down into the Amazon rainforest, in what would turn out to be the deadliest lightning strike in aviation history. Of the 92 people on board, only 17-year-old Juliane Koepcke survived. Although she had defied the odds by surviving a plane crash, her problems were only just beginning. Born in Peru to German parents, Juliane boarded LANSA Flight 508 with her mother, one day after a high school graduation ceremony. LANSA, or Líneas Aéreas Nacionales South America, was a Peruvian airline founded in 1963. It had a notoriously bad safety record. Its reputation for many led to it being used only as a last resort. There was in fact a common saying regarding the performance of the airline: LANSA lands on its belly. Despite some reservations, Juliane and her mother boarded the Lockheed turboprop at Jorge Chavez International Airport and enjoyed a smooth and uneventful takeoff. Mid-flight, with very little warning, the plane encountered a severe thunderstorm and was struck by lightning. Juliane described her experience of what happened next. Then I suddenly see a blinding white light over the right wing. I don't know whether it's a flash of lightning or an explosion. The jolt, the tip of the airplane falls steeply downward. People are screaming in panic. Shrill cries for help. The roar of the plummeting turbines, which I will hear again and again in my dreams, engulfs me. My mother is no longer at my side, and I'm no longer in the airplane. I'm still strapped into my seat, but I'm alone. And I'm falling, slicing through the sky. Juliane fell from a height of about 3 kilometers, or 2 miles. She was still strapped to a seat in a row of 2 other seats, which was spiraling towards the ground. She was conscious for a large part of the fall, but blacked out before landing. When she came to, she found herself lying in the mud, looking up at the jungle canopy. She had a broken collarbone, a ruptured ligament in her knee, and several cuts and bruises, including a deep wound to her upper right arm. Despite her incredible fall, these were her only apparent injuries. Though she had miraculously survived the crash, she was by no means safe. She was now lost in the jungle, a significant distance from civilization. The thickness of the canopy obscured her from the search planes passing overhead. Juliane knew that she would have to move if she wanted to survive. She located a stream and decided to follow it, reasoning that it would likely lead to a river where people might live or fish. And so, for 10 days, she did just this. She walked along the bank, constantly on guard for snakes and other wildlife. Juliane slept on sandbanks, drank river water, and slowly consumed a single packet of candy she had found in the wreckage. At this point, Juliane did not know the fate of the other passengers on board the flight, her mother included. Her concern for her mother was heightened when she encountered 3 human bodies still attached to their seats beside the river. After 10 grueling days, Juliane discovered a boat moored on the riverbank. A path led to a wooden hut with a palm leaf roof. She took refuge in the hut, hoping that the owners of the boat would soon visit. While she waited, she treated the wound on her arm, which was infested with maggots. As a child, she had seen her father treat a similar wound on their pet dog using kerosene. So she returned to the boat on the river, siphoned gasoline from its fuel supply, and applied it to the wound, successfully destroying many of the maggots. The following day, Juliane awoke to the sound of men returning to the hut, which was a base for local woodcutters. The men were startled by her appearance, but had heard news of the plane crash. When she told them she was a survivor of the LANSA flight, they gave her food and helped patch up her wounds. After resting overnight, Juliane was taken on a 7-hour journey by canoe downstream to a place where she could be airlifted to hospital, and finally reunited with her father. All 6 of the plane's crew and 71 passengers died directly in the crash. 15 people survived the disaster, though all but Juliane succumbed to their injuries before being rescued. This included Juliane's mother. Juliane's improbable survival was thought to be the product of several phenomena. Her seating section had spun as it fell, and this helicopter effect had slowed her descent. This, combined with the cushioning effect of the jungle canopy, had turned a fatal fall into a survivable one. An investigation into the crash revealed that the crew had been under some pressure to make up for previous delays during the busy holiday season, something which might have contributed to their decision not to deviate around the storm. Additionally, it was found that the plane had been in extremely poor condition. It was one of the airline's last remaining aircraft, and was made up of many spare parts salvaged from defunct LANSA planes. In the wake of the disaster, the company's operating license was suspended and LANSA shut down for good. Juliane recovered from her injuries. Her survival story attracted a great deal of media attention. She moved to Germany and went on to study biology at the University of Kiel. Many years after the disaster, Juliane wrote a book about her experiences, and also revisited the site of the crash as part of a documentary made by Werner Herzog. She is now a zoologist and remains a well-known figure, though her miraculous survival of a plane crash and a 10-day hike through the jungle is just one part of her life. She still flies often and has devoted a significant part of her life to the preservation of the same jungle environment that almost killed her. With regards to this, she has said, "The jungle caught me and saved me. It was not its fault that I landed there."